to tell your story the way you would tell your story, using your own words in
Okay.
your own way. And so the first thing I'm going to have you do is to close your eyes
Mm-hmm.
and to imagine that there's a time machine that will take you back in time to the day that you were diagnosed, but it'll only be there for 30 seconds.
Okay.
What would you say to that Derek that day? And open your eyes whenever you're ready.
I would tell him that his life is about to change and a lot of decisions are about to be made. Drastically.
Would you say that that day was a game changer for you?
It definitely was. Just coming out of a 7-year relationship and with that courage to move on, but then find out that I was positive without my partner being negative. So me being the person that I was like, oh, okay, well, this is definitely a game changer. So to move on forward with my life, but then with that new information was definitely different. So.
What are some of the challenges you faced?
Well, I definitely back in the day was a nympho. I did love sex, you know what I'm saying? So, but it was just with one partner, so it was easier that way. But because my partner was not faithful and loyal to me, it became a little more difficult than I wanted it to be. So once I was able to break free from him and become the freelance person that I was, and let's just say I had too much fun. So, but you know, you live, you learn, and you start, you know, regretting some things, but you do what you need to do to take care of you.
What were some of the tools that you used, like a network of people or living positive, staying positive? What were some of those tools that you used to get you to where you are today?
Well, I grew up, a lot of people don't know or understand this, but I grew up in what they would call, I guess, the hood or the ghetto. And for me to grow up, you know, light-skinned and being redhead and then also being feminine, I already grew up with a lot of stigma on myself, you know, just being called everything but my name. And then, so with me already looking different and acting different, that was already enough for me right there. So I had to develop a strong back mentality. So along with that, I actually been through crazy barriers such as, you know, being shot and being stabbed and being jumped. So, you know, the hood kind of made me a little toughy. So when I found out I was positive, it was just like, you know, another challenge. Like, oh, okay, well, here we go. And being so that I always was already like, what I want to say, within that lifestyle and already, you know, taking up the information on that. So it's like I already know what to do and the procedures and the proper steps to go through. So it didn't really faze me as it would other people. So the whole, you know, backstory breakdown, suicidal thoughts thing wasn't on my mind. The only thing that went through my mind was like, I was very disappointed and I was hurt in myself because I held myself on such a high standard. And, you know, my body was my temple. And to know that I let myself down by letting it become infected with this disease that I can never get rid of, it was like, well, damn. But then on the other hand, it was just like, well, I know the proper steps to do, so I'm still gonna live and still gonna be me, and I'm gonna do it better.
Can I interrupt quickly? I just want to adjust your mic. Best is moving around a little bit, and we're picking it up. Just going to change this.
That is my titty.
And we're micing it. There you go.
All right.
So at what point for you did you allow yourself?
Sorry.
That's okay. At what point for you did you allow yourself forgiveness?
It became to a point where, you know, everyone always around me, like, I guess growing up, I always had to find like that inner joy because I had so much negativity around me and surrounding me. So it's like finding that inner joy with just myself and learning to accept myself for all that I was. I had to find it again because, you know, because of the disappointment that I felt becoming positive and, you know, that utter sheer distraught, like, oh, look what you did to yourself type thing. It's like I had to reevaluate everything. It's like, okay, well, nothing has changed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you still have a goal that you need to complete, and then you still have to be that happy Samaritan that everybody wants you and needs you to be. So I had to get back on my feet and realize that, you know, I do matter and I am somebody. And it's kind of hard when I am sad because everyone that I'm around is so used to me being happy. So it's like, I can't be sad. I have to stay happy. So I have to take care of me, and I have to help everybody else take care of them too. So it was probably 2-3 months down the line after I found out that I was actually positive, and, you know, going to other different clinics to make sure, verifying. Like, I hate needles, mind you, hate needles. But I wanted to make sure that this was legit and that it was real. And it was. So I had my little down spiral, but 3 months down the line, I picked myself back up.
I think that's profound. You said, I do matter, I am somebody. Is that something that you would have said to your younger self?
Yes, that's definitely something I would have said to my younger self.
Okay. So if you would have addressed yourself, do you call yourself Derek or Strawberry?
You know, I don't know.
Were you Strawberry back then?
No, I was not Strawberry back
No.
then. Back then, I was Carrot Top. I was Carrot. I was Carrot Juice. I was Harry Potter. I was Sinbad. I was Pumpkinhead. I was a lot of things. I honestly didn't know what to call myself because everyone had a different nickname for me. So I guess in my own little way, I called myself me. And that was it. It was like weird, but I was like, hey, me, what's going on?
That works. So if you were to say, I do matter, I am somebody, but preface that with Derek or me, could you say that one more time?
Let me say. I would probably tell myself, like, Derek, you do matter. You are somebody. I would use my real name because that is who I am. You know, it is who I am, and I have to remember that no matter what anyone call me or what I call myself. At the end of the day, my name is Derek Cox, and that is going to be my legacy that I leave once I leave here, you know? So it's like, that's who I want to be known for. Okay. It's like, I am Strawberry, and I do love the name, and, you know, the sweet is, you know, the fruit itself is sweet, but it can also be sour, so, you know, but I am Derek.
And you mentioned a network. Did you have a network of people that supported you through this phase?
So I've been blessed throughout my life with some crazy, amazing friends, like different steps in my life, even before I became positive. But after I became positive, yes, my best friend was with me once I found out I was positive from my doctor. And when I tell you she broke down crying, I was like, well, you're like still in my shine. Like, this is my moment. But it was cool because, like, you know, they say you know your body. And I felt like something was wrong. I felt like something wasn't quite right up in there. So it's like I really wasn't too shocked once I found out, but at that same time, just like, you know, let's just hope it's something small, you know, gonorrhea, syphilis, you know, a needle and a pill won't cure. But hey, that's okay. I take on this challenge. But it was cool.
Would you say there are would you say since that diagnosis, any positive elements of your life have been changed because of it?
Yes, definitely. Like I tell people, I was actually happy to become positive because it definitely did slow me down on, you know, my choices, my sexual choices, my lustful thoughts, and, you know, chasing after men. And because, you know, everyone wants a redhead, you know, and it was like that enjoyable moment of being wanted by everyone, but not wanted in a way, you know, that you be wanted, and just wanted in a sexual way wasn't really all it was cut out to be, you know. So it helped me slow down, and then it helped me like see more life serious than what it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can still have fun with life, but I can also be more serious with it too, towards making better decisions and choices with it. So like, even just without the whole sex thing, being positive also just helped me see, you know, help me become better oriented and goal setting with everything, you know, because I had to, you know, keep track of my pills and then make my doctor appointments and being on time, and, you know, so it was just like all this was entitlement with not with just being positive, but also with my daily activity of my own routine, with my own life and my own hobbies. So it's like I had to squeeze it all together. So it helped me become more mature and helped me be more responsible also. So it wasn't like a huge downfall, but it was a picker-upper too, because it was like, I got to do this, I got to meet this goal, you know, you got to stay undetectable, you know. So it was just like bam, bam, bam. This is a new schedule and this new goal setting, so it was cool. So I was like, okay, bet, here we go.
It sounds like it allowed you to be a better version of yourself almost.
It definitely did. And it's like, before jumping into like these HIV/AIDS groups that I'm in now, I used to stay away from it because I found to myself, I found the positive side of being positive. And you know, so many people wasn't on that level. And sometimes, like, I started back in Boston, Massachusetts. You know, I try to go to certain places, you know, tell my story, try to help people. And they felt as though if I was, you know, how they say, like throwing it in their face, you know, because, well, that's you, that's your story. If that's yours, then that's fine. You know? And I didn't. And it made me feel kind of bad because, like, I felt like if I was being positive about it, then maybe I can help you feel positive about it too. But nah, they wasn't trying to hear that. Because, you know, I didn't go through the whole, you know, the whole bad seminars that everyone else been through, like the whole rejection thing and being treated like a disease or anything, you know, the suicidal thoughts and stuff, because it's just like I'm so used to being happy, and then I'm so used to having happy people around me. So it's just like I didn't have none of that negativity to drown upon myself. You know, like I was my self-esteem and who I was. Like once I've learned to love myself, even before I became positive, it was like that was it. Like no one else could tell me nothing. Like the whole world can say that I'm ugly, but I can say I'm beautiful every day, and I still do. Just so I won't forget, you know. So it was fine.
The last thing you said, and would
And that's,
you
yeah.
need another clap or?
Yeah, could you clap in front of your face for us?
Clap.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
It's like
That's our
slate.
action slate.
Oh, okay.
So when we're editing these later,
Gotcha.
let's sync up this audio.
I'm taking bits and pieces of your story and just echoing back to you the things that are profound. One of the things you said was, I found the positive side of being positive. Can you repeat that for me, and in your own words?
Let me see. In my own words, I can say.
And again, addressing your younger self.
Addressing my younger self. Okay, so.
And that can be that could take shape however you feel most comfortable.
So if I was talking to my younger self, let me see. I found the way to be me even with HIV. Little Dr. Seuss around. So yeah.
So would that sound like, Derek, you're gonna be able to be you even with HIV?
Yeah. Like no matter what you go through, overall, it's still you. So, and like I tell people nowadays, you know, yeah, you positive, but guess what? I take one pill a day. It's like my man's one a day, a protein pill. So it's cool.
And what are some of the tools that you use today?
As
far as keeping yourself positive?
Well, I use, because I have a lot of energy, so I use that to, you know, be very infectious to others. Like, I love seeing people happy. I love making people happy. I feel like I was blessed with this gift that God gave me, and it's definitely overwhelming, but I have this gift that I could spread joy. Like, you cannot be sad around me. I won't allow it. Who I am won't allow it. And people, you know, they attract to me. Like, I don't even know people, and they would just come out and tell me their story, and I'd be like, that's kind of personal, you know? They'd be like, I feel so comfortable with you, and I'd be like, that's God in the works, you know? So it's just that I've took on that challenge, like, you know, so I try my best to make people as happy as I always can, because I know if you can be just as happy as me, then no matter what you go through, you'll be fine. So that's what I want.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you would tell younger Derek if you could talk to him?
If I could talk to my younger self, I would definitely tell him that life is really full of many different challenges, and you are going to go through them, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And even though you stay as happy as you always will be, I would tell him that he definitely need to have his moment of sadness, because it's also a feeling and it's also an emotion, and it's going to happen. And I would tell him not to feel bad about being sad, because you're also human. So, and you need to take heed in that, because that can cause a stress and a depression within itself.
That's great. So letting yourself feel all emotions,
Yes.
the good and the bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you covered it all. You killed it. Yeah, so I think that's it. I think it's a wrap on it.
Okay.
It's a wrap.
All right.
Is there anything else that you want to say?
Just let people know that, being positive isn't as bad as it looks and as bad as it seems, As long as you love you and you're going to do what you need to do to take care of yourself, then nothing else really matters. Just keep living, keep being you. Look forward, never backwards. And that's it.
That's great. That shows.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Awesome.
being here.